So if you haven't guessed it already, Sarah and I are not at Sarah's house right now. We are actually in Hawaii. Sarah and I have been planning this vacation for many years. In fact, we were originally planning on going to Hawaii before the pandemic hit, and it got canceled about a couple weeks before we were planning to go. And so we were totally going to lose out if we didn't take advantage of the credits because they were about to expire. So we decided to come to Hawaii. So we have been on the island of Kauai for about a week now, and we wanted to talk to you guys about vacationing and keto and the mentality that we chose to have during this vacation and what led up to that. Because we know that everybody is going to be taking vacations soon, and they struggle with the thought of getting outside their daily routine. What are they going to do? How are they going to eat? Are they going to stay on or off? And so we just thought we would talk about that today. Sarah and I have been on keto for 3 years. So, this round, we've been off and on keto for 20 years. In January of 2019, we started keto, and we've been keto for the most part ever since. And it was easy to stay on keto for most of that time because, over the past couple years, we haven't really left the house all that much. Back when Sarah and I used to take vacations, we've been dieting for so long that we would, imagine taking a vacation and imagine how far off the cliff we were going to go on this vacation, and we would plan it months in advance, thinking of everything we were going to indulge on this vacation, even though it's like you're thinking about eating a couple of meals like 6 months in advance. So leading up to this vacation, Sarah and I kind of changed our mentality a little bit. We knew what kind of food they have here. It's mostly like barbecue and, things like that. They have like your typical junk food and everything. I just didn't want to think about it all that much because I didn't want to think about all the things that I was going to indulge in or not, because I think that type of obsessive behavior about food is what got us to be obese in the first place. I just basically worried about what we were going to do here that didn't involve food, and I didn't spend too much time thinking about the food. And so I actually brought some low-carb tortillas in my luggage, and I brought some sweetener in my luggage. If I was going to eat those things, then I'm just going to replace what I can with the low-carb tortillas. In Hawaii, they add rice to almost everything. Yeah. My husband just is eating it. And so I'll eat what I can off the plate. And I don't eat fish because of, I'm scared too because I have an intolerance to whitefish. And now I'm just scared of like pretty much all fish. So, a lot of times they'll add like this thing called poke on the side. Let my husband eat that, and I can just have the main, and I have my low-carb tortillas, and it's been really great. I feel like intermittent fasting has really changed the way that I view food and my need for food, because we are renting this house in Kikaha, which is a pretty remote part of Kauai. It's not like a very populated area. There aren't that many food options, and I realized that intermittent fasting has taken away that necessity of trying to figure out where I'm going to eat for every meal. Like, I know I'm going to be okay. It's okay if, we go out once a day for food or whatever. I don't have to like plan it out and grab a bunch of like crap and bring it home to the house. Like, normally when I would go on vacation, we would go to like a grocery store and pick up chips and bagels and all this stuff. And we really have not purchased any of that on vacation. Now, our husbands have been purchasing chips and stuff, but we've just been sticking to meals. And we did stock up on the coffee. That is something that we have during the morning, and I really don't get hungry until like 1 or 2 o'clock. So that's kind of how we've been dealing with it. I feel like my mentality has really changed because of keto and intermittent fasting. I'm just not as hungry as often, which I really enjoy because I hate feeling hungry all the time. And so preparing and bringing things like low-carb tortillas and sweetener and things like that in your vacation, you're gonna opt for those things first. And we've also brought Element, which is the sponsor of today's video. We are still drinking this on vacation, and we're so excited that they decided to sponsor another video on our channel. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. When you're first going into ketosis, you can experience flu-like symptoms, and we call this the keto flu. And when you experience a keto flu, it's basically that your electrolytes are out of whack. And so you lost a bunch of your electrolytes and you feel crappy, and Element replenishes your electrolytes so you feel better. We love it so much that we brought it. How many miles away from home are we? We actually really love this product. If you love salt and salty things, you are going to absolutely love Element. And for a limited time, our Keto Twins community can get a free sample pack of Element. All you have to do is pay for shipping. You can click the link in the description and get your sample pack today. Thank you so much to Element for continuing to support our channel. Sponsors help keep our channel going, you guys. And thanks to you guys for supporting our sponsors. Sarah and I think it's important to approach vacation a different way. You're gonna do the best you can. Don't overthink it too much. Don't obsess about what you're gonna eat, what you're not gonna eat. You're just gonna make the best decisions you can at that moment. So if you have not been eating sugary things, carb-filled things, and you decide to go off the deep end, you could spend the next 12 hours feeling extremely ill. And is that really the way that you want to spend your vacation? I have done it so many times where I wanted to eat terribly, and then I didn't remember how good I felt until I felt sick to my stomach. I would suggest taking it meal by meal. That's the way that Sarah and I operate. Sarah and I have not been keto this entire trip. I'll just be honest. We went over to the farmer's market, and up until that point, we were doing great.
Hello. We are at a farmer's market in Lahui, which is on the island of Kauai, I think. Right? Yeah. And we're just going to see what they have. Hopefully some fresh things that we don't get to eat back at home in Chicago. So.
And we ate, before we left, we ate barbecue. But then it's like, I wanted to eat pineapple. I wanted to eat it. I've never eaten a pineapple that was grown in Hawaii. And so I got a coconut first. And then the man offered to cut us up a pineapple. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have some pineapple. And I didn't feel terrible afterwards. Now, if I would have gone and eaten pineapple ice cream, gotten a pina colada, went and ate some tacos that didn't have low-carb tortillas, I think I would have been in a very different position a couple hours later. But I just did the best that I could in that moment. And sometimes you just want to eat the pineapple. I've said that before, actually, is that, you know, if you can eat keto 75% of the time, and then you eat a little bit of the rice, or you eat a little bit, you're not going to suffer that much. And guess what? You might actually lose weight when you come back, because you're eating, for the most part, really satiating food, and then you're eating a little bit extra. Sarah and I always say that. For the holidays, just go with the intention of staying keto. Mm-hmm. Be prepared. Eat before you go. And if you decide to indulge, life is too short. It's not realistic for someone like me, who was addicted to carbs, to never eat a carb again. And I don't like the mentality behind that either, because I'm just trying to do the best that I can, and so are you. I feel like this type of thinking, it allows me to enjoy the vacation and not think about all the things I'm missing. I'm gonna eat keto first, and then if I decide that I want the thing, I'm just gonna have it. But honestly, we've said this before, if you eat keto first, you're not gonna even be able to eat much of it anyway. And so you can have a couple pieces of pineapple. You can have a little bit of the whatever you wanted to indulge in. And so I think that that's the healthiest way to go about on a vacation. So here are some of the things that we focused on that were keto on our vacation. I ate a ton of poke, which is just pretty much cubed fish, marinated in some like mayo, spicy mayo sauce, or shoyu, which is like soy sauce blend. And that's pretty much what I've been eating a lot of the time. Emily can't eat that. So she pretty much focused on barbecue type of style plates, barbecue pork. What is it called? Kalua pork. Oh, it was like wrapped in some kind of, I don't know, it seemed like seaweed, but it's not. It's like a green
Lala
leaves.
pork?
Yeah, lala pork. And then they steam it. And it's like, it kind of tastes like spinach on the outside, but on the inside is like this buttery pork. And so I would have that. It came with a little bit of salsa. It also came with poke, which I did not eat, and rice. But I would just let my husband eat that. That's what I've been eating for the most part. And then my husband would order whatever he wanted. And if I wanted to partake in a little bit, I would just have a couple spoonfuls of that.
I think a lot of people think that they can't eat keto on vacation, but every place has a protein and a vegetable. Order that first, and if you guys are gonna, eat a pineapple, it happens. And a good way to stay keto is to focus on experiences and not on the food. I know this is very hard because everyone goes on Yelp and sees all the restaurants in the area and stuff like that. Focus on the experiences. We did a boat tour to the Nepali coast, which I did not enjoy as much. Because
well, I can talk about it a little bit. I mean, when we first boarded the ship, it was, smaller than I thought it was going to be, but there was about 30 people or so. We spent a lot of money to go on this. It was about $1,000 for all of us to go.
Yeah,
it was $950. I'm glad that I did it, because if not, then we would just sit around and drink coffee and stare into the sunset. Sarah and I are very much like that, so we were glad. You have to book some of this stuff very far in advance. So when we boarded the boat, we started along this journey. Honestly, it was crazy. My hair was flip-flapping all over the place. We looked like different people when we came off this boat. And
For different
honestly,
reasons,
the food
though.
was an afterthought. Everybody else was worried about the food. I remember people thinking, what time are we going to eat? What time? I was so I think I was overstimulated or something because I had my hands on this railing. We were going about 60 miles an hour. And then
it's raining.
It's raining. I thought it was like the waves like kind of hitting us in the face. No, it was raining. It was like 65 degrees. And then we started to see the pods of the whales. And of course, you know, that's an easy thrill for the people here. So we were following these pods of whales. I got video of like baby whales breaching, all kinds of cool stuff. And the food was not even like
on my mind.
Not on our minds. We were just thinking about, you know, this experience. So that was like from 2 p.m. all the way until 7:30 p.m. Sarah got sick about an hour in.
But yeah, booking experiences is something that I would have never done before, honestly. And I tried to focus on that. I did a lot of research about different experiences that we can go on that wasn't focused around food.
The other thing that we went on was this tubing adventure. They make you wear like a helmet and they make you wear shoes. And I thought that was like for show. And I thought it would be like one of those attractions where you actually like you pull up to the parking lot and the tubing adventure is like a man-made thing.
Yeah.
I did not know that we were going to be driving 30 minutes into the jungle to go to this plantation that had like these irrigation tunnels that were miles long that we were going to go into.
Where'd she go? Hi, honey.
I'm beached.
You're beached?
I'm beached. I'm calling you. There's a rock under me. Hi.
Oh, really? There you go.
I'm going to get this child.
I'm a good person.
Don't let food be the priority of your trip. And that's something that we are focusing now when we go on vacation together, is to really book out those excursions, have something to do for that day that doesn't involve food, because I feel like people just like, we're bored, we could go eat.
Right.
When you have an excursion to go to at a specific time, you're like, okay, we have to be here at a certain time. We can't stop for stuff, And so that's just one of my tips, is to focus on the experiences.
Even if we were going to go to the beach, I would think, what are we going to bring to the beach?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how we're going to eat on the beach. Like, I don't want to get sand in my food. We actually ended up going to the beach and getting I got some Kahlua pork and some stuff like that. But then I was like, I don't really feel like eating it here. Mm-hmm. And we hadn't eaten all day. And so I waited a couple more hours before we brought it back home and ate it. Just because, there's flies and stuff on the beach and I just didn't want to eat.
Eating outside.
Yeah, I don't like eating outside either. And so we were just like, you know what, forget it. Everyone else was, our husbands were starving. They wanted to eat. And Sarah and I were just like, no, we'll wait a couple more hours. Like, we would never be like that before. And so, I don't know, we've changed a lot. And the important thing is, even if you were to do really well at the beginning of the vacation, but then you went off the deep end, you still did better 50% of the time than you would have before. So doesn't that count for something? Because before you would probably eat at every meal like you're on death row and indulge in every meal and make yourself sick. So even if you were to like go off 1 day or 2 days out of the vacation, it's better than you were before, and that should be celebrated. So just give yourself some grace. Don't overthink your vacation and don't plan it around the food. But if you partake in things, then you do. And guess what? You're probably going to be in this position many times in your life. Even if you're doing keto for 20 years or down the line, you're still doing keto. You may go off sometimes. Ooh, that's just life.
So like we said before, this is just a temporary thing in your life. Vacation is not permanent, unfortunately. We all have to go back to our routines, and that's where it's going to be really important to get back on and be keto again. So anyway, if you guys like this content, please give this video a like. It really does help us out with the YouTube algorithm so that more people see our videos. And don't forget to subscribe for more keto lifestyle content. If you guys want to see other videos by us, you can click on one of the videos on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily. And we are the Keto Twins signing out.